Gabriel, look at the clouds. They're so fluffy. Inya had the widest smile Gabriel had ever seen. He could not help but laugh from joy as they stood on the bow of their cloud boat. The soft clouds of the blue sky around them were within arm's reach. Inya, here. Gabriel had managed to lean over the cloud boat's rails and grabbed a handful of the fluffy cloud and tossed it toward Inya. Inya gleefully caught it when she noticed how small their academy appeared below them. Wow, I wonder how much higher we're going to go. Gabriel followed her gaze and was equally amazed, but also a little nauseated. Phew, I don't know why, but I feel a little lightheaded. Mistress Faye's voice rang out. That is because of altitude sickness. The air here is a lot thinner than it is down on the ground. Here, take these little vials with air potions. They will help you feel better. Inya, Gabriel, Kate, and Griffin all drank the potions and instantly felt better. Now, don't stay out here too much longer. It is important to get some solid rest. Once we get off the cloud boat, there won't be much time to rest at all. With that, Mistress Faye left them and went inside the cabin as Gabriel and the other students remained on the ship's deck. Gabriel looked back over the side of the ship and saw how far they were drifting away from all that was familiar to him. Not only was the academy a small speck, but Valandra was no longer as endless as Mistress Faye looked at Gabriel, who had a big smile on his face as he spoke to his friends. She could not help but smile at the sight herself. Several days later, the cloud boat was now floating over completely foreign lands. Gabriel laid in bed as he quietly whispered into the black jadeite. Master Talon, I'm sorry we haven't had the opportunity to speak in the last few days. I have been extremely busy. Do not worry about it, Gabriel. Focus on the journey to the Decinium. Dangers lurk around all corners. I just have regret over not finding the Blade of Eternity at the Southern Academy. I truly looked all over for it. Perhaps it is somewhere else, Master Talon? That is an interesting idea. Perhaps you might be right. For now, focus on getting rest. We can talk about this later, when I formulate my idea regarding the Blade of Eternity's whereabouts. Satisfied with Master Talon's answer, Gabriel allowed his eyes to close and fell asleep. Later, as Gabriel was sleeping in his cot, he was woken by Inya. "Gabriel, wake up!" His eyes fluttered open with shock. "What is it, Inya? Come quick. Mistress Faye has called us to the deck of the ship." The two of them rushed out of their sleeping quarters and saw that Cade was a step ahead. By the time they got to the top of the ship, they were all stupefied by the beauty around them. The cloud boat had unfurled its powerful gravity shield as they sailed the stars. Mistress Faye, Dean Solvang, and the other adults that worked on the cloud boat stood in awe of the cosmic splendor all around them. The night sky was illuminated by cosmic waves of all colors as stars twinkled in the distance. And they could even see faraway planets that looked like multicolored marbles to the naked eye. Mistress Faye saw that he had come to the ship's deck and spoke out. "This is just a small star field. Think how much bigger the other fields in the universe are." Gabriel's mouth dropped from the beauty that surrounded him as he responded with a whisper. "Mistress Faye, tell me, how big is our vast universe?" She was equally at a loss for words. "No one knows, Gabriel. It is an eternal mystery." They all marveled at the beautiful kaleidoscope of light and color that the universe presented them, when suddenly, something happened that startled everyone. The ship began to rumble. Cracks formed on the ship's hull. Dean Solvang had an expression on his face that was a mix of horror and alarm. "Everyone hold on." Panic swept across all of the passengers of the cloud boat. Mistress Faye yelled out at Dean Solvang. "Was that an explosion?" "I think so, Mistress Faye." A strange shape was hurtling towards the cloud boat with breakneck speed. Cade looked extremely uneasy as he watched it get closer and closer. "What is that?" Dean Solvang yelled at the top of his lungs. "That's a shockwave. Everyone keep holding tight. This is going to feel like a body slam." Sure enough, the shockwave reached the ship, and despite them all holding on to the rails, they were all nearly knocked off their feet. Once it passed, Dean Solvang was the first to speak. "There must be some great battle going on up ahead." Gabriel tried to imagine how intense that battle must be for the shockwave to be that powerful. "How close is that battle to us?" "Thankfully, Gabriel, it is not close at all. The beings that are fighting there, whoever they are, would be among the most powerful from our realm." Just then, Inya yelled out in fright. "Dean Solvang, what is that?" Up ahead of the cloud boat, there was a man in a black robe floating towards them. He seemed to be getting closer and closer to them when he suddenly turned around. Gabriel's eyes got extremely wide with intrigue. "Look, there's a woman dressed in a white dress. She looks like a fairy?" The cloud boat had floated forward, and at this point, both the black-robed man and the fairy-looking woman were right in the view of Gabriel and everyone else. Gabriel noticed that the black-robed man was severely injured as he spoke to the fairy woman. "Janadriel, this is your last warning. If you dare to finish me off, then the Ministry of the Divine Continent will place a bounty on your head, and you will spend the rest of your life on the run." Janadriel looked at the black-robed man with a contemplative look. "I am completely fine with that. Now is the time to say your last words before I kill you." "I urge you to reconsider." But it was too late for the black-robed man. Janadriel waved her hands and manifested a terrifying force. Gabriel witnessed her warp time and space. Dean Solvang realized the danger all of his students were in and ordered the cloud boat to be turned into a different direction so they could flee the dangerous Janadriel. Gabriel observed how Janadriel was able to warp the black-robed man's body. It seemed like a miserable death. Her abilities were of an extremely high level if she could channel this sort of energy. Finally, Janadriel punched him with such force in the neck that his head was ripped off. Blood gushed out of the wound on his open neck. Before too much could spill out, Janadriel snapped her fingers, and the black-robed man's body burned to a crisp. Dean Solvang had a sweat on his brow, as yelled as the captain of the cloud boat. "Come on, faster! Move this ship faster, damn it!" He turned around and saw that the black-robed man's crisp body floated further and further away from them. "Phew, I think we're safe." Just then, Janadriel flew up from below the ship and appeared in front of everyone. Where do you think you're going?